Well, hi everyone. I'm John Reckland with my review of AEW Dark, and more digestible than other weeks because no Nakazawa or Stunt or the Dark Order, so maybe they're learning. I expect all three of them to be on next week's episode to totally negate what I'm saying here. But anyway, Taz and Excalibur on commentary, and we have Picarashita versus Rasheed Chanel, who moves like a prematurely born giraffe that's being electrocuted so it can learn how to walk. What the actual shit is this gimmick? Because she actually can work. Apparently she has 9 years of wrestling experience and actually was hitting some pretty good moves here. Once she got away from whatever the fuck she was doing, she tried to comb Sheeta's hair at one point. This kind of comedy just does not translate that well on a platform like YouTube, at least for a brand like AEW. I'm sorry, this just didn't necessarily work for me. The contest was fine when they got going, but it's still a very odd gimmick. Sheeta hits the Falcon Arrow, 1, 2, 3. If they can get Chanel away from doing all this goofiness and have her just focus on, establishing how she can move in the ring, I might buy into her a little bit more, but I'm just not buying into this gimmick and also the weird electrocuting walk thing. I just don't fucking get it. So we have Kip Sabian with Penelope Ford versus Corey Hollis. I'm going to make this one quick. Corey Hollis hits some moves. Kip stop being cocky and hit the Deathly Hallows 1, 2, 3. Penelope, also always great to see her. I like her and Kip as a duo. And I don't mean that just because they're engaged. I mean, I think that they actually can work some pretty good matches. Penelope is improved and Kip is pretty good. And Corey wasn't that bad either. So, Dasha then interviews Dustin and the Nightmare Sisters, Brandy and Allie. They are still trying to make this happen. Brandy is going to get on the show one way or another. They kept repeating each other, so it's like they were fighting, their sisters fighting. Hooray, you get it. It's comedy, it's not funny. So, we get Brady Pierce and Sabi, the former Tino Sabatelli of NXT. Good for him. I'm glad to see that he's actually able to, get, even if it's just as an enhancement talent, it's good that he's still sticking with wrestling and able to get this spot, and hopefully maybe he can get signed. He has a good look. And Brady Pierce has been featured on a number of episodes of Dark, and they take on the Best Friends, who were more aggressive this time. Cool. They still did the hug thing. You got to give the people what they want. Terrible impression of Excalibur, and this did go a bit long, though. I get what they were trying to do. They were trying okay, we need to make this over an hour. You don't always need to make these, this show over an hour. Maybe just have 6 matches and just have it be about 50 minutes, but anyway, I kid. There were some cool dueling dives, and then Strong 0 for 3. Now, Sabby, well, I'm just going to call him Tino until, they come up with a better name than Sabby. Sorry, that was kind of ridiculous. Him and Brady worked fine as a team. I wouldn't mind seeing more from them as time goes on. We think of Ricky Starks versus Will Hobbs. Will Hobbs is a goddamn beast, did some good moves here, and Ricky Starks, not the only appearance he would make, with, some great heel work and everything, and eventually hit his double underhook into like a driver, just whatever the fuck that was. That's impressive, especially, and Ricky Starks, I've seen him perform multiple times on indie shows. Guy is really goddamn good, no matter whether he's in front of a few hundred people, 500 people, doesn't matter. And he is really goddamn good. I'm glad to see him being featured on AEW. And then we get Scorpio Sky versus Aaron Solo, who I believe he is engaged to Bayley. I don't know if they still are or not. Hopefully they are, and if not, hopefully I just wish them both the best regardless. He's been bouncing around to various promotions and everything, just doing the indie work. Nice wrestling to start. Sky was very focused, but Solo did hit some nice moves, even stopped a 2 count to hit another stomp. Which was really, really nice. Some good action here. This is actually probably the best worked match of the night, I would say. And a TKO for 3, so Scorpio Sky wins, because of course he does. We then get Kylan King versus Diamante, who's going to be facing Ivelisse on Dynamite. Bit weird that they're going to be doing that, but cool. So obviously I think we knew who was going to win here. It was obviously Brandy. Brandy came out and pinned both of them. No, I'm kidding. Some nice arm drags by Kylan King. I think she has a bright future, and I think AEW should maybe try to... I'm not saying they should sign everybody, but depending on what indie wrestling does and doesn't come back, if AEW can afford it, they might want to do that, because they could actually bolster their women's division, because let's be perfectly honest, they're kind of lacking a little bit, not just because of injuries, but because they're just lacking in general. They need to sign some women, and Kylan can work. And Diamante, I'm not totally sold on her. She's got a good look, and she does have some ability. She hit a nice code red out of nowhere to get the victory. But I don't know. Maybe I need to see more from her and see what she can do. But what I've seen of her, not just on AEW, but other promotions, I haven't been that impressed with her, but hopefully she can prove me wrong, and maybe her and Evil East can have a decent match tomorrow. So then we get Darby Allin versus Robert Anthony. Darby stares down Taz. He has to look down on Taz, which is easy to do because Taz is about 2 feet tall. And not that Darby's necessarily tall, but he looks like a giant next to Taz. And I met Darby a few times. Guy's slight in stature, but man, he is goddamn great in the ring. Robert got upset and was like, fight me, pay attention to me. What are you doing? The nice surfboard series where he just kept doing that and he kept moving Darby around the ring and everything. That was some cool stuff. Darby kept focusing on the arm, hit a coffin drop to the outside, knocking him off the apron, and then eventually coffin drop 1, 2, 3. Then Cage attacks Darby. Oh no, he's going to lay him out and everything with multiple power bombs. Wait, here's Ricky Starks attacking Robert Anthony, who's going to stop him. And Ricky Starks and Cage are together good because Ricky Starks can be the charisma and the wrestling ability, and Cage can also be there. Cage can be Mr. Wellness. Mr. Wellness violation, that is. Don't know what I necessarily have against Cage. It's not that he doesn't have ability. It's just there's a reason why he's often injured. There's a reason. Muscles aren't meant to get that big, especially that way. So anyway, Cutler and Avalon, and that being said, I do like the idea of Starks and Cage teaming up, because Starks, I think, could actually really work well and take a lot and cover up a lot of the weaknesses of Cage. Because Starks is young, but you can tell he knows what he's doing. Cage is just supposed to be the beast. So, Cutler and Avalon with Leva Bass versus the Butcher and the Blade. Why did the Butcher and Blade get pyro? No idea. Leva at one point tries to interfere, and Avalon dives, and it almost looks like Leva got actually hurt. Now, she seemed okay afterwards because she was back at ringside, but I was hoping she was alright. And in the end, full death, 1, 2, 3. I mean, Avalon and Cutler work fine together, but I just didn't really care. I didn't. Did you? I don't care about the Butcher and the Blade. Sorry, it's not that they're bad. I just don't care about the gimmick. Mainly because when they were introduced, they just kept losing for a bit. Now they're trying to rehab the image, and it's just whatever. They're facing the Bucks in a Falls Count Anywhere match on Dynamite. Anyway, I look forward to Dynamite, though. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.